Yo guys, what's up? It's Circle T Square here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing Mock Draft 2.0. As of the day of recording, it is Thursday the 4th, so it is post Senior Bowl, pre-Super Bowl mock draft. I know it's a weird time, but you know what? I have to get a mock draft because my uploads are on Saturday and not Sunday, or Mondays. I will have to wait until next week to do a mock draft, and I really don't want to because I love doing mock drafts and I think it's really interesting. And if you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to comment your favorite pick from this video. If you want to subscribe, hit that subscribe button, and if you want, hit that notification bell if you want to be part of the notification squad, because I cannot say words today because I just woke up. So let's get right into the video right now. Okay guys, so this is actually a 2-round mock draft, so we'll be getting to that, but I will not show you the second round just because it takes so long to do. You know, like, I want to save you guys some time. So let's get right into the draft with Trevor Lawrence being drafted number 1. You can't go wrong with picking Trevor Lawrence. I don't think the Jags should not pick him unless there's like a validated reason, like he beats his fucking girlfriend or some shit. At the Jets pick, I've kind of leaned away from taking Penny Sewell, just because I think that the Jets will go quarterback and will trade Sam Darnold to maybe a Colts, maybe a Pittsburgh, maybe somewhere else that we don't expect. So I'm gonna have them taking Zach Wilson. I think he's the better of the two. The quarterbacks go Trevor Lawrence at 1, and then Zach Wilson and Justin Fields 2B and 2A in that respective order. I think that they're both really good talents, but they both have some of their flaws. But Wilson has the sort of arm like Patrick Mahomes. He doesn't have the exact arm, obviously, because he's not Patrick Mahomes, but he can make almost any throw on the field, and with his tight window completion percentage, it's I think in the 80s, where compared to Justin Field, it's I think it was 60s last time I checked. It was somewhere in the 60s, but it wasn't as high as Wilson's. But Wilson's just got that arm. He's got that leadership quality about him, and yes, the Jets need to restart and rebuild, and I think he's going to be the perfect quarterback for you because he can start day 1. I think that both quarterbacks can start day 1. Limited, at least, for Justin Fields. I think that Justin Fields is more of a runner than a thrower currently. I think that he does a lot of work with his legs, and that's what Ohio State featured. His arm's good, but not the best, and his reading isn't the best either, and I'll get to more of him when I pick him. So with Miami here, Miami's a weird one here because I really want to take Penny Sewell here. I think that it fits well with them, but also I think they need wide receiver. I think wide receiver is one of their needs because Devontae Parker, he didn't really sync up with Tua, and I understand that part because a limited preseason, just limited training camp in general, limited offseason, all of that when he got drafted, and he really had to make things up on the fly, and I think that's why he didn't look good. And yeah, he had his moments in games, like when he would run for a first down or throw a great ball. But I think this is really the offseason that he needed, and this is what he needed his rookie year to really learn with the guys and get a connection going. And I'm gonna grab Devontae Smith. I'm gonna grab the guy who has connections with him because I think Parker can still be your number 1. I still think that, and Smith got a lot of connection with Tua, obviously from the national championship when he threw the touchdown to win the game. So I'm gonna take Devonta Smith here. I think Devonta Smith he's a good wide receiver. I think that obviously people knock on his frame and all of that, but I mean, look at Deshaun Jackson. What? I think he was a first rounder, if I'm pretty sure. I think so. I think he was a first rounder. I'm an Eagles fan and I should know that, but I don't because I'm not. I don't go that far back, but Deshaun Jackson didn't have the same build, and I don't compare those two quite as similar. Obviously, speed difference is hugely, but frame and size, I think I would comp that pretty well to Deshaun Jackson. And you can't do terrible in this league just with that frame. You can do all right, and obviously he's going to be put into a weight training program, obviously in the NFL. So the Atlanta Falcons, I think you could take Kyle Pitts here, Jalen Waddle. You could maybe Surtain, maybe a Kwity Paye if you're really that ballsy. But I just feel like you have to take Justin Fields. I feel like this would be the perfect landing spot for him, besides Carolina maybe. Or maybe even San Francisco. But with sitting behind Matt Ryan, who is, I wouldn't say a Hall of Famer quite yet, but he is definitely up in the ring of honor for the Falcons. And he's such a good quarterback, and he understands the game really well. I think that learning from him for like a year or two is going to be great. And plus, when they can get out of Matt Ryan's deals in a year or two, which would save them so much more money and help them build around Justin Fields even more. And plus, that Calvin Ridley is going to get even better and things like that. I'm going to take Justin Fields here. Like I said, I think he's a limited thrower at this point, limited mental, not capacity, but like reads. Like Ohio State limited his reads to like half reads, or like he would like looking at some of his tape, he would get locked onto a receiver like Chris Olave for the entire thing, and if he wasn't open, he would either run or get sacked at that point. And he rarely got sacked because it's Ohio State. They have a great offensive line every year, and he would just run, and that's why people think he's a better runner than passer right now. And I think that if you just, like, honest God, if he just develops and just learns and does all of that, he's going to be good at quarterback. I think he's going to be good to average quarterback at that. So with the Bengals at 5, Bengals are like, fuck you, let's just run in Penny Sewell. I don't think they should take Jamar Chase here. I think that T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and whoever they have is a great pair, but I think they really need to focus on their offensive line, and I might go offensive line for 2 picks back-to-back, because who do you have? Jonah Williams. Jonah Williams can play guard tackle. I think you want him playing your right tackle, to be honest, because I think that's what he played in college, either right or left. It's one of the, obviously he had to play right or left, not like Alex Logan where he had to play guard, tackle. I don't think he played center, but I think that Penei Sewell, locking him up on the left side, he has great footwork, he has great hands. I think that sometimes he loses a little balance, especially when he gets overextended, but obviously all tackles do when they get overextended, except for like the greats. But he's a great pick here, and a steal when you could have the Jets take him, you could have the Dolphins take him right there, getting him at 5 for, like, I think he's a top 2 talent right now. I think it's Trevor Lawrence and then Penei Sewell. So, Eagles, my Philadelphia Eagles are going to take Jamar Chase, no question about it. Questions about his release off the line. Obviously, he's not the flashiest receiver. He's not the guy who can burn past a corner like that, like Henry Ruggs or a Jalen Waddle or some guy like that. But man, if he bullies a corner off the line like a smaller corner like that, he's not gonna get back. He's not gonna recover. He's just such a bully, and like how crisp his route running is, like that's what I want in a Philadelphia Eagles receiver, or like a number 1 at least, because now you have Jamar Chase at the 1, you have Jalen Reagor in the slot / Greg Ward. I think you can interflip those two right now, and then you have Travis Fulgham, who was a breakout star at least for 2 weeks, and then Doug Peterson said, fuck you, we're not playing you. But he was also, we speculate that he was injured, so I think that really played a factor into why he didn't play as much. I think it was an ankle injury, so I think that's probably why. But, man, that guy's a dog. That guy is an absolute dog, and I'm so glad that we brought him in at least for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it was. He balled out. I think he's going to earn another contract. So, with the Lions pick here, Lions, I think, could take Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance is really in the realm here, but you do have Jared Goff. I think if they're really that bad of a team, they're really going to aim towards maybe a Spencer Rattler or a Sam Howell in the next draft. I don't know if you lose Kenny Galladay or not. You could grab Kyle Pitts is a debatable because wide receiver like that, but you can't pass up on Jalen Waddle. You're going to lose Marvin Jones, of course, and then you have who else? Like Cephas and like some fucking random wide receiver like Marvin Hull or some shit. I'm going to grab Waddle to be at least the number 2 on this team. If Kenny Galladay doesn't come back, that's a shame, and I don't know why, but I think Jalen Waddle's so explosive. I think that he can do a lot more, rather than what his height tells us, he can do way more than just that. So with Carolina, I'm really debating between Kyle Pitts and Trey Lance here. I think that you know that Teddy Bridgewater is not your quarterback, and you're a good team right now, like an average team. There was just a lot more talent this year, but I think that another year in Matt Rule's scheme, the defense is going to get way better. But grabbing a guy like Trey Lance here, when you know you're not going to pick in the top 10 probably in the next 3 years at least, but I'm going to take Trey Lance here. I think that people are really skeptical about him, but I'm not, because yeah, he had one game this year, and that's tragic from North Dakota State's point, because they ruined one of their best talents in Trey Lance in the last few years, because he couldn't show off what he did. 2019 is a little different. I think that why he gets knocked is because, you're playing a down level competition. That's why you pick him and you let him sit behind a quarterback like Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater's been in the league for 7-8 years by this point. I'm going to take Trey Lance here. I think that he's got a great arm. I think he's very similar to Cam Newton, but he's not Cam Newton. I think he's a better arm than Cam Newton. So with the Broncos, I think this is going to be a difficult pick just because you can go Surtain, you can go McFarley, you can go Parsons here. I think that Kwity Paye is debatable, but I think there are some good edge rushers in the second and third round that really fit your scheme more, like a Joe Tryon or a what's his name? The guy from Oregon State. I forget. He's a stand-up pass rusher. He's a linebacker, like that. That kind of guy. I just like McFarley better than Surtain. I think he's got the better height. I think he's got the better recovery speed, and I think they're 1A, 1B, but I would just take McFarley right here. I think that's going to be shocking to most people, but I don't think you grab edge rusher. I think that you get Von Miller for one more year, and if that doesn't work, you cut him. You cut him, you go draft a guy next year, or you play Malik Reed, or you draft a guy this year or next year, some shit like that. So the Cowboys, Kyle Pitts is right here, but I think you rather fix your defense. I think you trust Blake Jarwin and Dalton Schultz just enough to where you don't draft him. But honestly, I could see you grabbing offensive tackle. Lyle Collins was injured all year. Smith was in and out of the lineup, which is not helpful at his age. And then, I would grab Rashawn Slater here because he could play guard tackle. And then really, it's either that or Surtain. And it's a Mike McCarthy. How value do you think Mike McCarthy value is going? I'm going to take Rashawn Slater. Take Rashawn Slater. So looking here at the Giants. Giants. I would have them taking Kwity Paye here. I think that Kwity Paye would be really good, but Mike Parsons is still on the board. And damn, Michael Parsons is good. I'm going to take Parsons here. I think he's a linebacker that they just need and that they really want. Kyle Pitts or Patrick Surtain here. Because, honest to God, I could see them taking Kyle Pitts here and just saying, okay, he's our wide receiver. He's a wide receiver. George Kittle, he's tight end. Because Kyle Pitts could go 8. He could go 7. No, he couldn't go 7. He could go 2. He could go 4. He could go 8. He could go 10. He could go 11. In my honest opinion, I would take Kyle Pitts here. Just grab another dynamic weapon for that offense. Because, again, when you're going to get a transitional, not a transitional, but a transcendent talent like Kyle Pitts, because his high weight, speed, like, holy shit. Like, if he probably went to the combine, he probably would have ran a 4.5. Very similar to Kittle. I'm going to take Kyle Pitts here. Okay, Chargers, I'm just going to take the best tackle off the board, Christian Darrisaw. It's no-brainer. You protect Justin Herbert. I think you could, if Kyle Pitts falls to you, you could take Kyle Pitts because you don't know if Hunter Henry's coming back. And I don't, honestly, I like Hunter Henry, and I think he should come back. I think he should come back. With the Minnesota Vikings here, I think you could, honest to God, take, I don't know. I'm really leaning towards either Elijah Vera Tucker or actually just going your weakest position here in Christian Barmore. I know he's rated 36, but I think he's the best interior defensive lineman right now. Just really looking at him, and like he's a monster. And playing that one technique is very important for a Mike Zimmer scheme. That's why they aren't successful right now, because they lost Michael Pierce to COVID. They let Sharif Floyd retired because of medical issues, and then they let Linval go, which Linval is the one technique. And I'm going to take Christian Barmore here. I think that could be the really, I don't know if it could be the really surprising pick of this draft, but like value-wise, looking at the board, Kwity Paye could obviously be one and help Danielle Hunter. You have Patrick Surtain, which he's falling off of boards, and I think that New England, I'm really thinking about it linebacker, obviously wide receiver. Rashad Bateman's here, but I don't think that Belichick's that dumb to draft a wide receiver when N'Keal Harry hasn't worked out, when other receivers like Myers have been good in like the 4th, 5th round when they've been drafting. You have Gilmore, you have JC Jack. I'm just going to grab Kwity Paye here. I think that he's, I wouldn't say very similar to Chandler Jones, because obviously they're bigger body, different body types, but playing him in a similar role to what you had Chandler Jones in. And I thought they really missed Chandler Jones when they traded him away to Arizona. When they did that after their Super Bowl run. And speaking of Arizona, I'm gonna have them taking Patrick Surtain here. I think that he's the perfect corner that they want from their scheme, a press man corner that can play a little bit off but not too much. And he really helps out Byron Murphy at this point because Patrick Peterson, if he's coming back, he's not the same shell of himself, but obviously learning from Patrick Peterson. Then you have Byron Murphy, which I think he's more of a slot corner, nickel backer. So it's a good pick for the Arizona Cardinals. The Raiders, I wouldn't take Osai here. I'd rather take Kwity Paye here, but you know what? I'm just going to take JOK. Jeremiah Owusu-Koroma. Okay, with Miami's pick here, I think that obviously you could take Sam Cosmi here. You did grab Devonta Smith. I think that you still need to invest in the... I wouldn't grab another corner in the first run. I might grab Zaven Collins, to be honest. I think that a guy that can make a difference... linebacker. I'm trying to think of their linebackers. Because it's Baker and then Hill / a bunch of other guys that they have. I'm really thinking about Zaven Collins here. And I think that... I'm gonna take Zaven Collins. I think that in the same sense, I would take JOK and that Dolphins pick. So here with the Washington Redskins, I wouldn't go defense. I would go offense entirely for this pick. Grabbing a guy like Rashad Bateman, obviously playing off of Terry McLaurin, I think it's really good and everything like that. I'm gonna take Rashad Bateman. I don't know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I just have an itching feeling that they could really take tackle here, but I would rather go need over want right now because the best player available is probably Joseph Ossai. I don't think that Cosby's comparable to him, at least right now, or not comparable, but like on the same level as Ossai and Ojulari and guys like that. Chicago now. I could have them taking Marshall like I did in the first one, but I don't know about your tackle situation because Bobby Massey's a free agent. I don't know if they make a play for Deshaun Watson because obviously I didn't include Deshaun Watson in here because we don't know where he's going. Broncos, Chicago, not Indianapolis, 49ers, what else? Jets, Dolphins, all those 5 teams are bidding for him right now. I'm going to take Cosmi here. I'm going to take a guy who can really protect a quarterback, whoever you have. Colts also in trade talks. Carson Wentz. I don't think they go get Carson Wentz. Maybe they get Andrew Luck. I've heard rumors of Andrew Luck coming back. I would, if you grab Gregory Rousseau here or even Jalen Phillips, you could go tackle. I think that if I'm the Colts, I wait for tackle because second round's going to be filled with offensive tackles. Leatherwood, Eichenberg, Jenkins, Mayfield, guys like that. At least for this pick. I'm gonna take Gregory Rousseau here. I'm gonna take the other Miami edge rusher. I had them grabbing Jalen Phillips last time. Okay, with the Tennessee Titans pick, I think that I'm leaning towards Osayi or J.C. Horn here because really looking at it, Desmond King, not a free agent, close to it though. Adoree Jackson, almost a free agent. Malcolm Butler, not good. I think I'm just gonna grab Osayi. I think you could grab an edge rusher second round. Same thing with the Denver Broncos. I think that second round edge rushers are gonna go fast and they're gonna go good. They're gonna be good. I mean, the top tier isn't the greatest right now, but I think that the second round could really shock people. The Jets now and Robert Saleh's defense. You grab Zach Wilson. I would just take Elijah Vera Tucker here. I think that he's the best. I wouldn't say best talent on the board, but pairing him either next to Mekhi Becton or putting him on the right side. Grabbing Osayi wouldn't be bad either, but I'm just going to grab the best offensive one. I think you need to help out the offense better than the defense because the defense played terrible throughout the entire season with Greg Roman or whoever that are. Here with Pittsburgh, I think you could grab Osayi just because of the fact that obviously Bud Dupree, questionable, ACL, things like that. But just, I think you need to lean towards youth, and especially on the offensive line because of those guys. Mike Pouncey, I think, has retired. Villanueva is going to hit free agency, and he's going to test. DeCastro is still consistent, but he dealt with injuries this year. Left guard was the rookie Tyree Phillips out of Lafayette or LA Tech. One of those two. One of those two Louisiana schools. He played decent. Oh no, it was Kevin Dotson. Excuse me. And then right tackle was Okorafor from Western Michigan. I think that, again, they hit youth, and I'm just going to take Jalen Mayfield to be the left tackle. I'm going to clear that up right now. Taking a left tackle of the future. Jacksonville now here with Urban Meyer's scheme. With Urban Meyer's scheme, I don't know if it's going to be a 3-4 or 4-3. I'm really debating about that because college they were a 4-3, but obviously new scheme, new stuff like that, new coordinators, that's going to all change. I think that Jacksonville would really thrive with being a 3-4 because Allen and who's the other guy they drafted? It wasn't like an art. Fuck, what was his name? Cleavon Chaisson. You're grabbing him. I think that they're both stand-up edge rushers. I don't think they're hand in the dirt kind of guys. And I want to grab running back. I'm gonna grab Telvin Jenkins. I think that just looking at the board and just stuff like that. Ooh, that's a hard pick. Because there's not really that many talents. Like, I wouldn't draft a running back because you have James Robinson. I would go for a third, fourth rounder at that point to really help him, like, carry the load. I wouldn't go, like, a Asante Samuel or a Resnick or, like, guys like that because they're second rounders. I think that they're pure second rounders. Resnick could go in the first. You can see that. With the Browns, I think that the Browns, Terrence Marshall wouldn't, like, be a terrible pick. You did grab Donovan Peoples-Jones, who's not the similar height, but he's 6'1", big body kind of guy. You had Hodge. Yeah, Kadarius Hodge, I think that's his name. You could look at edge rusher. Oh my god, this would actually be the perfect pick. I would take Jalen Phillips right here. Either that or corner. Asante Samuel, but I think he's more of a second rounder. At this point. Okay, so with the Baltimore Ravens, I think that Osai just falls perfectly into the lap. And then you got to take a guy like that because Matt Judon wants, $20 million a year for a decent edge rusher that can get, like, maybe 10 sacks if he goes crazy. But nothing like that. So the Saints now, his name is Mac Jones. He's a starting quarterback that can start right away. But I do think they like Jameis Winston, though, bro. And Asante Samuel, or Nick Bolton, fuck. It's either that or Eric Stokes. Oh, or Tyson Campbell. But man, Eric Stokes played so well, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna take Eric Stokes. Here. I very much like that pick because you don't know if you're gonna keep Marshawn Lattimore. To be honest, I think that you could, but you're obviously in cap hell. You've got to cut a bunch of veterans like Alexander, Jenkins, other guys like that. Like somehow get into positive at least to sign some fucking free agents because Drew Brees obviously ain't come back. You need to sign Jameis Winston. You could trade Michael Thomas. I wouldn't because obviously people bash him for just being a slants guy, but I mean that's the physicality he brings. Corners are going to play off of him. Like they're not going to press up on him because he can win at the line of scrimmage, not very consistently, but like very well. Like not every down. But Green Bay Packers here, I could see them taking Asante Samuel as well. But man, just Resnick right here. You really won me over with playing guard and tackle, the flexibility, like everything at the Senior Bowl. I think that Eichenberg is going to fall. Oh, man. Leatherwood would also be, I think he's a pure second rounder. I think that he has some mobility issues at guard and tackle, but I'm going to take Resnick here. I don't think it's the flashy play that you could. Terrence Marshall is very similar to what you have in Equinemius St. Brown and Valdez Scantling. I think that getting a guy in the second and third round with wide receiver potential, like a Shi Smith, a gadget guy, kind of like that, he's going to help you way more than grabbing a Terrence Marshall, who's very similar to three receivers you already have on the board. Alan Lazard as well. So I'm taking Resnick because also Bakhtiari tore his ACL in practice in the AFC Championship game, or like week at least. He's not going to be back for the start time of season unless he's that well trained, that well rehabbed by that point. But no, I don't think that he's going to be ready in time. So I'm going to take a tackle. Tackle the future, right tackle, left tackle. Doesn't matter. So the Bills here, the Bills wanted... Ooh. You could grab Nick Bolton to replace Matt Milano if you're going to let him go. Leatherwood wouldn't be a bad guard tackle either. Let me look. You could grab Creed Humphreys here. Bro. Just help your offensive line. I think that their guard play was average to below average at that. I don't think they have really like a standout guy on that position. And grabbing Dickinson, Smith, and guys like that. Take Wyatt Davis. I just think he's a first rounder. Just like all the fluidity he has and all the push he can get. Man. Okay, so with the Buccaneers here. Bucks again, I think could go offensive line. I don't think it's right now though. If you let Chris Godwin go, you take him. Eichenberg wouldn't be bad here. Mac Jones would not be bad, especially if Tom. I just think that if Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl, which is likely to happen, it's a 50-50 throw up right now. If he's likely to win, he retires on top. I think he retires on top. You could grab a guy like Davion Nixon at the bottom of the first to really fill that Ndamukong Suh side, or like pressure. Wait. What am I doing? Talking about Mac Jones. Ojulari is right here. I think that the Patriots, going back to all the picks, I think that the Patriots could be the most likely to take Mac Jones. I think that he's very similar to Joe Burrow in the aspect that he likes to stay in the pocket. He likes to be an immovable wall sometimes. And he can hit every throw in the book, except for like the deep ball, like from like 20 yards out, or like from his 20 to like the other 20, like shit like that. Only Josh Allen can do that, and Patrick Mahomes, and Aaron Rodgers. The voice got out. But I think that you just wait to take him. With the Kansas City Chiefs here, man, Terrence Marshall would be such a good pick here. I think the offensive line could also be one, especially like if Elijah Vera Tucker or Wyatt Davis is here. But later guy like Creed Humphreys or Dickinson, if they fall, which they probably won't. I think Creed Humphreys could fall to the third round, bottom of the first. But, I'm going to take Terrence Marshall. Okay, guys, so that is the conclusion of the first round. So I'm going to actually go and pick all the second rounders here and then come back and show you guys what I do. I'll be right back. Bye. So I'll just scroll down and let you guys watch. Sorry, I'm looking at here. But if you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to comment your favorite pick, do so. Take a few seconds to look through this entire mock draft. It is on NFLDraftNetwork.com. You can check it out there. I'll put the link in the bio. If you want to hit that subscribe button, please do. It'd be very appreciated. And if you want to hit that notification bell and you be notified when I upload, do so ahead. So I'll show you off the rest of the picks here. This draft board sucks. I need to make my own soon. So that will happen sooner rather than later. But all these picks I thought were really good. I thought that there's some guys who dropped. I had Dylan Moses go in the second round, which I don't think that might happen in real life. So I hope you guys enjoyed that mock draft. This is 2.0 pre-Super Bowl, post-Senior Bowl. My name is Mr. 2 Square. Peace out. I'll see you later.